Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here today. Today is July 17th, 2024. In this video, hang on tight, we're going to go fast, so just keep up. I'm going to bring you a word that I wrote down this morning. There are some approaches. I just asked God. I was just like, can you tell me about all of this assassination attempt stuff? And so there was some... there was some stuff that the Lord was sharing with me. So it's not earth-shattering, so don't get all jazzed up about it. But it was insightful. So anyway, I'm going to read that to you at the end of the video. I'm going to bring you a prepper item I've never brought to you before, and you may not have this on your list. But back in 2020, when I started like really jazzing up my preps, I bought this. Oh, by the way, happy Prime's Day. We're at the end, y'all. I hope you've had a lovely, lovely Prime Days, holidays. Yes, I totally dived into that and got some great prepping stuff. I went ahead, I pulled the trigger on the Shiwi, and we will see how that goes. I also bought Augustin Farms. I think it's still on sale, y'all. It's like 50% off for lunch and dinner bucket for 30 days, I think is what it is. Lunch and dinner, dried food bucket. It's $52. Y'all, that is a steal. So you might look that up. I went ahead and got it. I'm going to take it over to my mom and dad because that will add another month of food for them because they don't eat very much. So, yeah, Prime Days really came through this year. Thanks, Amazon. So, anyway, I wish you could like hang out with our family because we're totally laughing about that all the time. All right, now then, the world I have been a little bit unplugged from because we had a funeral on Monday, and kudos to my community. This family who lost their daughter due to a tragic overdose, that she was 27 years old, and the whole community, they didn't have a church home, so they used our church. We were so happy to serve them, and the whole community brought food. The tables were laden with all kinds of things. If you don't know what funeral potatoes are, y'all, you need to look that recipe up. You can't go wrong with eating funeral potatoes at funeral, and I don't mean any disrespect whatsoever with that. So, yeah, so thanks, Michelle, for contributing the funeral potatoes. So, I learned some things because when you work in the kitchen and the funeral's going on and people kind of hanging out in the kitchen because other people are coming in the back door with their casseroles and food. I learned some things. Going to bring those stories to you in just a second. Tell you what, let's go ahead and do this prepper item first. All right, this is it. These are them. This is a prepper item you might want to get. I haven't looked at the pricing of this in 4 years, so I don't know how much they cost now on Amazon, but these are steel-toed. Did you hear that? These are steel-toed shoes. Okay, now they do not look like steel-toed boots, which, when my husband wears those every day to work, and cowboys do. You'd be crazy not to wear steel-toed boots around here. That's just thinking crazy. So, steel-toed shoes. These you need to protect your foot if you are farming, working with animals like horses or cows, around heavy machinery, anything like that. I know that these don't look like steel-toed boots because, you couldn't wear this professional. Like, if you worked at a food processing plant, you would have to wear the boots. You couldn't wear. They have to know that's what you have on. These look like tennis shoes. They are heavy, clearly. No, I have not broken them in. Yeah, the steel goes right up to about right here. Yeah. Protect your toes, y'all. Protect your toes if you are working outside with a tiller, with a lawnmower, with anything, especially if it's a grid down situation. Y'all will be working with equipment we're not used to. Axes, saws, all kinds of things. So, yeah, you might just check out getting you a pair of steel-toed shoes or boots, whatever works for you. I thought these looked somewhat feminine. They don't look so masculine. All right. Does that, I mean, they've got some purple on them. How can you go wrong with that? I mean, I don't think you can. All right. So they're heavy. Y'all hear it? Let me listen. Well, can you hear that? I mean, that's the toe I'm banging against this wood column over here. All right. That's funny. Okay, so that, yeah, you might check those out and see if that might be something for you in your prepping. Tell me what you think. Do y'all already have a pair of those? Do you think there's value in that? What other things are you putting back that you like most of us haven't thought about? Y'all are rock stars in that regard, because I read your comments like, oh my word, I haven't even thought about getting something like that. So y'all, please tell me unusual preps that most of us probably haven't even thought about. That's what we'll do today. That'll be fun. Okay, so let me tell you these stories right quick, because I don't want my phone to overheat. It's stinking hot in here. Hopefully we're going to get rain today. I don't know. Right now, I don't know. It's just hot. You know, it gets really, 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 really hot and steamy hot right before it rains. That's where we're at right now. So, anyway, we'll see what happens. So let me tell you, my last 2 days have been like this, and I think we'll all learn something from this. These stories I'm going to tell you. Now, first of all, Monday, well, let me go back to Sunday evening, but I'm not going to give you details. Sunday evening, we had a church meeting about church security. Now, we had it scheduled long before the assassination attempt on former President Trump. So that was, but the intensity of it, I mean, it made it more legit, nearly, because of that event that had just happened less than like 24 hours earlier by the time we were meeting. It was so yeah, we had a good turnout. And the strategies, we met with someone who understands church security and gave us some great strategies, which I will share in another video. So this was Sunday night. Monday, okay, Monday's funeral. And y'all, like we call it doing funerals. We're doing a funeral. I don't know how you understand. I've said that before. I don't know how y'all roll in your culture, but it's an all-day event for all of us, because we don't have restaurants where we have tacos and beer, and that's not, they've got some good food there, but y'all, that's not going to be enough. So everybody cooks still. Everybody cooks, and everybody just understands we bring food to the church building, whichever church building it is that needs help. Sometimes they don't ask for help. This time, we're a community church, so we thought, of course, we're going to ask the community. So we did. And so my day started at 8:30 when I went to the church building, pretty close to that, to make sure when people start bringing food, you meet them at the back door. They sign the little thing, what they brought, so the family can send out thank you cards to them, and then you take the food and either put it in the oven to keep it warm or put it in the fridge. Rarely can you just leave it out, because by the time the people had the funeral at 10, then go to the graveside and the burial, and then come back and eat, the food just can't sit out, especially if it's deviled eggs. Oh my word. So anyway, that was my Monday. Now, here are two things. I'm going to talk about broken people. All right, broken people. Raise your hand if you're broken. I'm first one. All right, the Lord has put me back together, for which I'm thankful and grateful for. So I'm not going to talk about my story. I'm going to talk about the stories I learned about over the last 2 days. First one, the deceased. She was 27, had a rough life, had made very poor choices, and had health issues along with drug addiction, along with some other horrible things, and then that's sad. It was sad. She was broken. All right, she was broken. Her life was broken, and I'm not. The point I'm making is, even in her death, the things that happened out of that were serving the people who were brokenhearted, her family. Okay, so I didn't know this family well. I knew their name, a Hispanic family in our community. There were 40 or 50 that came to the lunch. We were supposed to have 120. We had about 40, 50. You never know. You never know who's going to come. So, we were just able, it was wonderful, but it reminded all of us how fragile life is, and one choice this way or that can determine a very, very difficult outcome. So there was that story. Okay, so put that in a box, put it on the shelf. Next story I want to tell you about. So we're in the kitchen talking. I don't know if y'all understand what I mean. If you understand what I'm talking about, you can comment below, okay? So we're back. I mean, the funeral is way on the other side of the building. Y'all, our church building is 16,000 square feet. So the sanctuary is like miles away. So we're talking in the kitchen because we want to be there as soon as the funeral's over, and if anybody in the family needs anything, if they bring babies, the baby's back there, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Well, we were talking, and a very, very dear friend of mine, she's a new, very dear friend, relatively new, made the comment, I hate the smell of whiskey because it reminds me of my ex-husband. I was not in the conversation. I was kind of standing over, leaning against the counter, just listening. And I thought, I didn't know she'd ever been married before she was married to who she is now. So after a while, I went, and we have a parlor. We call it the parlor. I sat down in a chair in there, and I was just started looking at my phone, And she came, sat beside me. She's older than me. Okay, she's in her early 70s. And I reached over and patted her on the arm, and I said, I never did know. I did not know you had been married before. Tell me about this, if you feel like it. And she said, oh yeah, I'll tell you, I was 18. I got married to this man, and I found out real soon that he drank whiskey, and when he came home, I was his punching bag. Tears were just rolling down my eyes because I thought, this is a beautiful lady, a beautiful, gracious woman who loves like Jesus loves, all right? And yet, when she was young, she was broken. She's broken very badly, physically and mentally and emotionally, in all kinds of ways. Since then, the Lord has touched her life and moved in ways that she's this beautiful, sunshiny life now. You would never guess that happened to her in her youth. But yeah. So that brokenness. Okay, put that in a box and put it up on the shelf. So we have two boxes on our shelf now, right? So then yesterday, I thought, oh, I'm going to get the day at home. I even told my dog, I said, Chloe, I'm not leaving you all day long like I did at the funeral day. I was like, I'm going to be here all day. I'm going to be, kicking back, doing laundry, and you and I are going to have a great day together. And I don't know if y'all talk to your dogs that way, or your cats, or your fish. If you do, raise your hand. Yeah. But anyway, so I was telling, that's how I thought. At 9:30, my husband called me from work, which is a bad sign, okay? Like, he'll text me, but a call, I was like, oh no. Oh no, what's happened? And I could tell by the tone, he said, what are you doing? I thought, oh no, this is bad news? I don't know. I said, I ain't doing nothing. What do you need? And he said, my mom called, and she can't quit crying. She can't quit crying. Okay, now I'm not going to go in all the history of this. She's widowed, okay, and she's by herself. She has chronic pain, chronic back and hip pain. And I'm not going to go into all of those details, but we had to drop everything and drive 3 hours round trip to go take care of her, and happy to do it. I'm not complaining. Wasn't on our radar that day, wasn't on our radar yesterday, but we were happy to do it. So we spent hours with her yesterday, and by the end of the day, the Lord had healed the situation. The Lord had healed it, and even made much good came from that. As we were talking, I told her, she was like, doesn't the Lord want me to get up and walk around and go see people and go encourage people? Okay, this woman cannot get out of her recliner. Okay, I'm like, why? The Lord knows. The Lord knew. I'm telling my mother-in-law this. The Lord knew before any of us were born that this moment was going to take place. That we were going to be the three of us here. Me, my husband, my mother-in-law. And that we were all going to be, on the struggle bus. And that he was going to heal this moment. And it is not a grade card. Following Christ, you do not get a report card. All right? He does not tally your score. And you don't have a GPA with Jesus. Oh, I put that on a t-shirt. Now, this woman has 2 master's degrees and, of course, an undergraduate degree. I mean, she and her father was a doctorate. He was a doctor in psychology, preached at a prevalent university. So, scholarship is in Western mindset of education is ingrained in her. I mean, like if you cut her open, she would bleed like Webster's Dictionary and Gray's Anatomy, right? You know what I'm saying? Those big thick books of stuff. So anyway, so she said, I know that intellectually, but I don't know. Then of course she started crying. And I'm like, it's okay, it's okay, because when you get older, you cry, and things are hard when you're in chronic pain. You cry. We all know. Okay, we all know. Please pray for her. Okay, that's what I would ask you. But it's my prayer request for today. But what was amazing was that throughout the afternoon, as we were with her and we took action, like you need to take your medicine, you need to eat, you need to drink. We went and got her, I'm not going to tell you the situation, okay, because it's fine. It's really positive. But we were able to serve her. And Mike and I had a great time. I mean, driving back and forth, we analyzed that assassination attempt up, down, sideways, all over the place. So that was my yesterday. Okay, so she, even though she's 80, maybe 89, I don't remember how she is, she is broken, way broken, in pieces at the moment. I know someone out there that's listening to this video is broken and laying in pieces. Let Jesus put those pieces back together. Let the people in your life who love you step in and help you, point you to Christ, and put your pieces back together. He'll make something different and even more beautiful than what you wore beforehand. I know this to be true because I've experienced it personally. All right, so here we go. I want to read this to you. I hope it's not too long. All right, I hope we're not. Okay, let's go. July 17th, 2024. After I worshiped, this is what I wrote. You need to square this with prayer with God, however you decide to do that. This is what I heard Jesus say. Broken hearts, broken lives, broken bodies, broken spirits. Place the pieces of your brokenness upon the palms of my scarred hands, and I will make all whole again. My love for you, my eagerness to cover the wounds, my power to gently mend what has torn you up inside. This awaits all who turn to me. My embrace, seek my embrace, for I am there for you. Who would rather suffer? Who would rather be hopeless in their pain? My child, tell the broken what I will do. Show the broken how your prayers heal, for your heart prays in my name. Therein lies the power, not your wording, not your method, but my power, my spirit in you moves as you pray. Be bold, child, in love. Be bold. Pray with the hurting. Pray with those in despair. Pray with all wayward children, the young who know about me, but have not yet known me. See for yourselves what my moving spirit does and rejoice. When you step into this boldness, the powers of darkness are rendered useless. All right, so that was that. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel good? Then I was thinking about the assassination attempt, and I said, what happened, Father, with the Trump? What was that? And here's what I heard him say. Nothing. Silence. I sat for 10 minutes. Nothing. I heard nothing. He clearly didn't. And then I asked, why are you silent on this, Father? You, my darling daughter, are not the one who need to know. You have never seen the brutality of the battlefield. You cannot see the evil of this action. Your purity I shield, for you would not do well knowing all the darkness, quicksand full of evil, pulling souls to suffocating death. You, child, are not the one to know and share. I have other men in my kingdom who I am revealing the atrocity to. Your golden purity in me I will protect. Wait and listen as I show the men of my remnant the ins and outs of this event. For I have made them strong, a strength that can bear atrocities of evil. But, my daughters, you, my daughter, are made strong in other tasks only women can handle. This is the strength of my remnant. Warriors are tasked according to their strengths I have created in them. Your acceptance of your assignments are a credit to your faith in me. Be at peace and listen, watch, and I will reveal to those you trust. Be at peace and listen, watch, as I reveal to those you trust in me. So that is what I heard him say about, and we just wait. And my brothers in Christ who are listening, I will wait in faith and patience as God reveals to you, because and if you are a woman and God reveals it to you, I'm not going to argue with you on that. Fine, share it. And I just know what I heard in the Lord. And I know that it's got humanness on it. All right, I'm going to leave that with y'all. If you are broken, Jesus heals. Come to him. Time is running out. Stay safe, America. This is Jean L. Charlie. I'm out.